Starblades. Starblades, a new book by Kyle Ritter, has arrived at my house a couple days ago. Actually, last week in the middle of my work week, it came. Took it to work and read it. This is great, man. This is next level kind of coloring and stuff. So, I guess the story is about Earth sometime in the future. They discover a substance called star metal. This guy here starts talking about it. They go and discover a star metal, and it gives them all kinds of technological powers and advances and stuff. But it also draws, I guess, these guys from wherever, outer space, the bad guys. Where are the bad guys at? These bad guys here. And they're out collecting all the star metal for their own nefarious purposes. See, the bad guys. In case you didn't know who is the bad guys and who is the good guys, these guys are called corruptors, and his name is Overlord. So he's the great corruptor. So that gives you a hint on who's the bad guys in this book. And then the heroes, these things called Starblades, and each one of these heroes has a pendant around their neck. I think that's the Starblade. And it gives them like a spirit animal kind of a thing, where they can tap into the power of that spirit. This guy's dragon guy, she's hawk lady. This guy's a bear dude. Fish guy, I think she's a tiger. This guy's animal is like a wolf. And you got like short-haired lady back here. She doesn't have anything like that, but she's got a cool blade. And this is like this guy with a star on his head and the Lobot thing on his head. He's got like limbs, I guess. I don't know. I'll show you in a second. But anyways, basically they fight. So we get a good idea what your spirit. I keep calling it your spirit animal. I'm sure that's what it is. What they can do, and the wolf guy here fights the snake, a huge snake, and it gives you extra power and everything. So that's kind of the story, and what they have to do, because this other army is coming in from outer space or wherever they're coming from to corrupt everything. They have to get together all the Starblade people so they can fight them and win. That's the only chance they got, is getting all this power together. So the pendant is like a thing you can use to channel this other energy, other power of your animal spirit. Is that what they're called? I looked up the campaign. Let me check real quick. Because there's a cover you can get with I guess a Starblade spirit covers. Yeah. It's your spirit animal, but they're called the Starblade spirits, I guess. So, anyways. Everything in here is by Kyle Ritter, except for the lettering, I think. For sure, it might be Eric Weathers. Maybe it's all by Kyle Ritter. I'm not sure. The credits page. There's no real credits page that I could just see. We got the ghost tiger lady. Alright, so anyways. Art review portion. Obviously, it's Kyle Ritter. I didn't know who he was until I started watching some all caps stuff on YouTube, and he's super duper colorist. Now this right here, I think this is just photos that he's taken, turned black and white, like slammed the levels on it. He's able to work the photo textures into his shapes and forms. I suppose you can go find yourself a waterfall somewhere, but this is like, I'm a Photoshop guy too, and or Corel Painter. I know how you can kind of pull some of this stuff off, the mist and everything. The water looks very photorealistic, but he blends it in very good with the rest of his stuff. There's some techniques, I'm not sure if he has a special brush that he does it with or whatever. Okay. So this guy goes, he got some, I think half this stuff is photo texture. Being that he's a colorist, he's used to using like Photoshop for stuff. I'm pretty sure he's using Photoshop or Clip Studio. You can tell you can draw this guy right here. You can ink him and stuff, get him in the page, fill in some blacks, but you know that you are going to go into Photoshop later and do this stuff too. Like you can get images like this off the internet and adjust the levels. Take your own photos even of textures and surfaces and do this. Like you can make this stuff in Photoshop too. So it doesn't really have to do all the penciling and inking and all that stuff. There's a pro Digital Juice had a bunch of these things called juice drops, which are huge Photoshop files, and they had 3D objects in there like this. So I just take that layer, export it as a PNG, slap it onto one of my flyers, and got this cool little 3D thing floating around the back of my flyer. But there's all kinds of stuff you can do. Like when you're a talented colorist like this, you know some Photoshop. You're not limited to just the pencil and inking. I'm pretty sure all of this is digital. You might do some stuff on traditional, but you know, if I could do this, I probably wouldn't worry about drawing rocks and stuff. You know he's in a cave, so you just get some good rock texture. You can overlay it on top of your background, and I'm 99% sure that's how he's doing it. I like how this is colored here. The shadowing and the lighting is like great on that face there. And he's very good at rendering metal, and he has to be, since the subject is star metal here. So this is a pretty sweet splash here. I'm curious on how he did this 3D kind of thing. I mean, you can vector this stuff out to your heart's content, but then putting it maybe in a 3D program or however he's doing it. Even if he's using perspective tools, it looks like the vanishing point is like over here somewhere. It's not straight in the middle like I probably would have done, but it looks cool. So there's a Zaxworks 3D Animator Pro I've used to do titles like this, but this is like got like a bevel on it, and the outline, you can do the outline pretty easily in Photoshop. But so as you can tell, the man's got some skills, period. All right. So I don't want to show everything. I don't know what they're going to be like about showing everything, you know, flipping page to page, but it's just like the best coloring you could probably get, you know. Now look at this back here. Like, did he ink that in there and then just blur it out, or did he go find some forest footage and seamlessly blend it in there? See, you're kind of looking at the character, then you don't even realize in the background your mind has already accepted that he's in a forest somewhere without you looking at the whole page, you know, trying to figure it out. This is something I was looking at earlier too. These little lights on here seem like they have like a bevel to them. And I was thinking maybe he drew these lines on a separate layer and then did the little Photoshop stroke thing. But if you look up here, so I could do the top and the bottom of the window, put the red in there, but I think at the very end he took this light source on top, selected all this, and did the huge airbrush right here, or made a gradient on a different layer, and it makes it look embossed. It's kind of a trippy little effect. In fact, the windows go all the way onto the corner and under the frame of whatever ship this is. If there's even windows, maybe I don't even know what those would be if they weren't windows. So, anyways, cool photoreal clouds down here. Good tech, you get a little bit of an idea what the ship is like. So, all right, so here we go. The black and white section at the end is really telltale, or it gives you a lot of good clues on what's going on in the art style. Now, pretty good hatching here. I wonder, some of these apps you get like a little brush that does this for you, so I'm wondering if he's done this by hand or he's using a brush. If he does it by hand, I have no reason to think that he wouldn't do it by hand, but look at all that hatching, man. That's crazy. Just to get that sky effect when you could just go do it with a brush during the coloring section. And this is negative space right here, using the transparency. See how these look like you know, photos where you take the levels and you just bash the levels together in the middle and you get these hard edges, textures. Like I said, I think it's great. I don't care about you didn't draw it and whatever, but it looks good. I'm all about taking photorealistic textures and overlaying them, photo texture on top of a figure or whatever, to give it like a little bit of a real world feel to it. That's fine. If I'm gonna do that in the coloring process, there should be no problem doing it in the line art process. So as I'm saying, this looks to me, I don't know, this looks like a negative space. I don't know, but it's got lines there. It's still a mystery. This I could see a dude doing by hand. This stuff. Yeah. This might even be drawn by hand just from a reference photo. Not even traced over. This texture might be a photo insertion. This stuff down here. These little cities and stuff. Maybe some of the stuff you can just trace too. You don't have to just like some pagoda-looking buildings here. Huge dragon statue, and it's a big spiky ship. Okay, let's compare it to the colored version. There. So even with the coloring, he's taken some kind of texture brush and gone over it again. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a texture. Some of this fire has either with a brush that does this or cool. Like stuff like this, I would say that was done by hand. That kind of cross hatching right there. I've seen people do this, so actually no problem to do it, you know, digitally as well. But I'm wondering if this kind of like texture that he does here is by hand, or if he also has a brush of some kind that he pulls it off with. Okay. This is we've seen this stuff online. Okay, I'm wonder what he does with these, like the flame trail of the sword as he's slashing through this skeleton guy. Was there like an osteoporosis curse you can put on all these skeleton people? Okay, a lot quicker. Anyways, where's him decimating the skeleton minions? Skeleton decimation. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this down here. So he drew like some competent looking like flames and stuff. I think when you get into post, we'll call it, when we get into the coloring, I could probably do something more photoreally looking. Because this looks like almost, I'm not sure, see that little shape. Oh. Alright. So this little shape looks like a fish, and then over here it's still here, but it's like blank. So you have your background fire with red, then you have the yellow white stuff on top. It's got this shape too. Okay, so when I do fire and stuff, I use a cloud brush that's set on screen, and I'll do some clouds, you know, as far as like smoke and things. And he just has a way he does flames, some natural media looking thing, or some overlaid flames. I don't know, because there's a blur to it. You know, there's this line art here, and there's a blur to it, and there's no more line anymore. Here you got some lines. You can tell he did some color holding right here. Color hold, color hold, color hold. But then he's overlaid something else on top, because half of these shapes are gone now. You can see this stuff is still here. So, stuff right here, still like here. That's cool. Picking you apart, Kyle. Alright. Trying to learn something, not criticize. Okay. So then there's this guy. Here you go with this cool cross hatching. To me it'd be easy just to make a selection around here and then cross hatch this with a little cross hatcher brush and make it darker as you go in here, and then I don't know. That's probably not how he's doing it. I don't know. I'm not trying to diminish the effort that went into this, but it seems to me that's how he's doing it. And I would probably try and go on a separate layer and do all this hatching and then put it underneath the inks, and then try and do like a eraser and erase out around the lines so it has this this white outline around there. Probably how I would try to do that. I don't know, because I'm a digital artist now too. I'm purely digital right now. I started off doing traditional, and then I've succumbed to the Cintiq syndrome. That coloring, man. the moonlit glow behind them, and then in the front, the fire. This looks all like photo textures. Photo textures. It's good. But the way he colors, he just blends it like seamlessly into there. You don't even know unless you're looking for it. He's got that white outline, cuts the figure out. And the coloring, he does a color hold on the lines behind here, so it punches the figure out in the front even better. Are those action lines there? Yeah, they are. So color layer beneath it, and then color hold the actual lines. Yeah. Those explodey lines there. Yeah, the explodey lines are there. I can't tell really. I'm about to put on my zoom lenses. Optical zoom. It's hard to tell, but I think those remain white, those lines. Okay. Anyways. Okay, so this is what we really want to see. He's got these negative images of these animals for the spirit covers. Yeah, I like the energy source of the circle. She's using the force, the energy around the hand and stuff. That's going to be interesting. But I'm curious about the etching scratch board thing he does with the animals. I'll dissect that a little bit here. These are all covers you could have bought. All the spirit covers, and then here are these two right here. And if you get them, you can tell by the colors that they join together in one long thing. So I was thinking maybe this was one book, this is one book, this is another book, and those 6 put together. Then there's the bad guy covers, bad guys, the good guy covers, like front and back, and then the standard cover. And this is just like a pin-up, I think, because there's no place for the title because bear guy is in the middle of it. So anyways, as I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted, here's homeboy here. Very flip friendly, this part. I'm gonna try and move my mic over. So I'm looking here, and I'm just seeing white. You just got to make it glow a little bit. I guess it's not that big of a trick. It looks to me like you could take an add layer, or in Procreate would be add. Oh, the add layer with an add brush, or a screen layer with an add brush, and just trace everything. Or you could select all the white somehow, or select all the black, make a mask of some kind, and then blur. Feather the mask so that there's some overage, and you can just take your brush, color it. You can switch the layer to add and blur that again. Yeah, that's how you did it. Maybe you just somehow selected all the white, duplicated it, painted it this blue color, then blurred it, and then adjusted the. Well, that looks kind of cool. Check that out. Scary. There you go. Wolf guy. It's shrunk, isn't it? Yeah, this one's shrunk down. But anyways, so that's kind of how I would do that. I guess it's not that big of a trick. But right here, for Tiger Girl, it's all black. So you just select the black around the hair and everything. Like really complicated selection unless you have them in layers already. And then you just paint on top of the blacks with it, like a color hold kind of a thing, but you do this cool cloudy texture, lightning chick stuff. Yeah, there's like lightnings here that aren't in there, that I can see at least. And the same thing, you would take the same color, you could, I don't even think there's anything going on there. Maybe there's a layer of shininess. Yeah, down here there definitely is. You take that indigo purpley thing. Looks like a Green Lantern Jedi thingy going on here. Animal Jedis. Yeah, definitely there's a shine here. You could just leave that white, but then you take the red and put it like a... I would do ad layer. I don't think of the ad layer in Photoshop. It's something else. It's like linear dodge or something. And it gives it... it reacts with the black very well. Gives it that shiny look. But you have to blur it or use just a brush at the right thickness. But then you have to not have it on the figure in front. Yeah, see, I think he has his line artwork. He does color holds and does the normal comic book thing, but you know, since we get kind of obsessive about our own artwork, we'll just keep adding stuff until it looks totally cool. Looks totally different. So each one has like its movement to it, you know. This one's got like a circular thing going on here. The bear head. You can tell this shark dude came up. The water's gotta go flow that way. Here's his arm here. Going into dragon guy. There's like this circle thing going here. She's got like a whoop, whoop, whoop. Spinny circly, spinny circly. Is his head too small? Because his gun is huger than his head. I don't know, that superhero anatomy thing. But look at his hair. The stubble is done like on the same kind of hatching technique. I don't know if it'll focus. There you go. It's not like normal cross hatching. It's like a worm technique. I don't know. Maybe he has a whole sheet, like a page-sized PNG of this kind of texture, and he slops it on top and does the masks it off. I'd like to find out. I'd like to see if Kyle does all this stuff by hand, or if it's part of his art grimoire. They probably wouldn't give up a secret, so, but that's cool. I get it. I get it. I might use this book a lot to reference how they do metal, because everything is like rendered, so you know, okay, that's shiny, that's metal, this is cloth. Alright, so that's some of that. These right here, this section of the book here has stills from his animated trailer that he made. It's really cool looking. It's super cool looking. You can tell the colors here are beautiful. But he animated all his characters and made like a trailer. A wordless trailer, just a bunch of, not Photoshop, what's that program? After Effects stuff. Flying dragon guy, falcon girl, hawk girl, whatever. Bear guy and fish swimming. He's kind of scary looking. He looks like a bad guy. Him and dragon guy look like a bad guy. But their name isn't Corruptor, so it's the white tiger, or the ghost tiger. Yeah, Kyle's got it going on, man. He's got some skills. Havoc, Warrock, Tyrus, Dryden, Anora, and Talon. This guy's design is the only thing I think is weird in the book. Okay, let's talk character design real quick, because this girl is pretty fantastic. She's got some, that's the witch lady. This guy's got the Anakin hands and stuff. He's got the Terminator looking kind of thing going on, but like with Skeletor and the spiking thing, and he can have electricity from his cybernetics without blowing him up. This guy's kind of, I think, plain. He's got like the horseshoe on the forearms. Spiky head guy. And it's kind of weird, I think. I don't know if he's just like a really evil guy that punches hard. He goes to fight the dragon guy, sword guy, and he gets his arm chopped off. But I'm looking at these panels like, what is he gonna do? Just gonna punch him? So I hope he's got like some other, I don't know, maybe they'll build him up a little bit. But because he gets his arm cut off, he goes back, and the super corruptor evil guy
makes him fire overlord. Instead, he gets like a fire hand. Right, repairs his hand. He can punch harder now. Maybe he can resist. Look at that fire sword. How would that not kill you? How did this guy not win? Okay. Snow effects, rain effects, everything. If Kyle can think of it, he just put it on the page. Look at that. The way he did the snow here, it looks like it's freezing on top of something. That's cool. It's like a line art layer on top that you like brush and make blue or something, and then you put screen or overlay or something. It's a cool effect. But you gotta have like a translucent layer of blue on top of it too, within the lines, to sell like the frozen water look to it. Yeah, I think you could just take a brush that leaks dots everywhere and do a directional blur. Get that kind of snow effect. I would just unleash an osteoporosis bomb, kill all these guys. The fish guy can punch. He's got cool spikes. Maybe the only other critique I would have is everyone's got this stoic face. You know, like everyone's just, they're talking but their lips ain't moving kind of a thing. Maybe that's the only critique I would have, but I would say, like, you know, pick a syllable. If you're taking a picture of this guy talking, maybe he's saying the word pray, and then you make his mouth look like bottom lip flaring out a little bit, mouth open a little wide. And she's got good eyebrow action here, but like she could be saying the word why, like just kind of passively hanging the bottom lip over. You can see her bottom teeth. Something. Everyone's just kind of got this face. Every now and then, Wolf Guy makes that face though. He's the only one that yells, and this guy's saying good luck, but he's not saying anything. So maybe that's all I would say about this book. See, Wolf Guy yells. He's showing some teeth there. See, you can do that. And he looks like this guy from Criminal Minds. When I was on vacation, I watched the first season of Criminal Minds, and there's a guy in there that looks like this. He was the designated tackler. He was the young guy on the team that tackled everybody. Okay, so this guy's in a band. He's in a band, dude. Okay. This is one of these panels where it's like a Zack Snyder slow motion shot where they just want to show like the cool insignia on the sword and how his Starblade is whipping in the wind of the action there. So it's kind of an interesting panel. There's another cool one I was looking at later. See, some more. This guy's yelling. That's good. If you did a drinking game where you took a drink every time someone's mouth was open in this book, you would probably be able to drive home. Look at that, he's talking to him. It's not, they're not all stoic. This guy, I think he's probably communicating telepathically because his mouth never moves. But there's no story points I'm going to give away that totally interest you, but as you could tell, like I just got into doing stuff on Webtoon and making comic pages though, and I have something like 12 or so panels on a couple of these pages, 6, but you know, just to show different shots and get a lot of dialogue in, show talking heads and stuff, or like a kind of inset panels on top of the big ones. But this book has got these huge panels, huge full page splashes and everything, just a whole lot of beautiful artwork. Almost like every third page could be a poster on your wall, you know, the huge, just highly detailed and just beautifully colored, great to look at. Just full on. If there's so much eye candy, I can get digital diabetes from it. No. Anyways, so that's Kyle Ritter's Starblades. It's a great book. If you missed it, I don't know, bummer. There might be some on eBay for me to buy, but it's a good story. Can't wait for Volume 2 to come out. Maybe they'll do a second chance printing. That'll be good. I think they might be into keeping stuff rare and valuable, so who knows. But this is good stuff. Good artwork. I don't know what else to say. I'm definitely going to use this as a reference tool for when I'm doing my own coloring and different things. I like to hear, if you guys know what Kyle uses, his software he uses, different things. I don't know if he's straight up Photoshop or Clip Studio or what is he using. It'd be interesting enough these techniques if he'd give up any of this knowledge here. But that's my take on it. That's what I think's going on here. My diagnosis of the artwork and different things. The story's pretty cool. It's kind of like a human Infinity Stone thing where, we're like, we got to get the band together to go play the ultimate concert. I don't know. You'll like it. You got it. Thank you very much. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching.